In 2021, scientists drilled into a dry, ancient bone in Japan. They expected to find a boring record of the past, but instead they found a ghost hidden inside the DNA. This discovery completely shocked the science world. It proved that a secret group of people existed in ancient times. In this explainer, we will look closely at these hard facts.
This brings us to a striking question. Where did the Japanese people truly come from? The answer is not simple. Old history books claim they come from two groups, but the truth is different. They actually come from three distinct groups of ancient explorers.
You might wonder why this matters right now. It matters because it changes the identity of 125 million living people. Think about that massive number. For a long time, the world thought Japan was just a late copy of the Asian mainland. But new science tells a completely different story. Japan is an original pioneer. Its ancestors were early leaders of human travel.
Okay, let's dive into this. For years, we believed a very boring story. We pictured early humans simply walking into Japan across solid ice. We imagined hunters chasing wild animals on hard, cold ground. But the new truth is far more exciting. The ancient Jomon people didn't walk. They built boats with their bare hands. They sailed across the dark, dangerous ocean.
Let me give you a real-world example from Okinawa. This is an island far in the south of Japan. Deep inside dark limestone caves, researchers found amazing things. They found physical tools used to build hand-made boats. They also found campsites that are 40,000 years old. These people didn't arrive by a lucky accident. They carefully planned their trip to cross deadly sea currents. Crossing the dark ocean back then works like flying to the moon today. It takes deep planning, it takes great skill, and it takes advanced technology. In my opinion, these ancient people were incredibly brave. They conquered the stormy sea when most humans were still learning to survive on dry land. They were highly advanced, not simple cavemen.
Now, what's really interesting here is the new DNA evidence. For 30 years, experts followed a simple rule. They said exactly two groups mixed to make the Japanese people. But in 2021, that rule broke completely. A third, hidden genetic mark was pulled from an ancient skull. This skull belonged to the Kofun era. It revealed a group that stayed invisible for decades.
Modern Japanese DNA works like a soup with three main ingredients. Think about making a large bowl of soup. First, you have the Jomon base. That's 13% of the soup. Second, you have the Yayoi vegetables. That adds 16%. Finally, you have the Kofun meat. That's a massive 71%. The Kofun meat makes up the largest part of the modern Japanese recipe.
The old rule completely failed. To be honest, I think the old science was lazy. If you only look for two ingredients, your recipe will fail. The old researchers used weak tools. They stopped testing when the data looked good enough. We must throw the old rule away. We must look at the real facts.
Let's move forward and see how this builds across time. First, the sea explorers arrived 40,000 years ago. These Jomon people stayed completely isolated on the islands. They stayed alone for tens of thousands of years. Then, about 3,000 years ago, rice farmers arrived. They brought new food. Finally, 1,700 years ago, state builders arrived. They came to construct large tombs and organize the country. And this brilliantly illustrates another wild discovery. Scientists found a special blood marker in living Japanese men. It's like a unique family fingerprint called D1B. They searched nearby countries like China and Korea, but they found zero matches. Their closest genetic cousins actually live far away. They live high in the snowy mountains of Tibet. Finding this special marker works like finding a long-lost twin brother. Imagine searching your entire city and finding no family. Then, suddenly, you find your exact twin living on the other side of the world. This connection between Japan and Tibet is a ghost signal. It's from a journey made before the last ice age.
So, the crucial point is this. Japan is a living time capsule. The islands caught these moving groups. They kept their ancient blood safe. In my opinion, it's absolutely amazing. This ancient history survives right now. It lives inside the bodies of normal people walking the streets today.
Let's return to our opening question. Where do the Japanese people truly come from? We now have a clear answer. They don't come from two simple groups. They're a mix of brave ocean sailors, wet rice farmers, and ancient state builders. These three groups blended together over thousands of years. They mixed on a beautiful chain of volcanic islands.
I will leave you with one final message. The blood of daring explorers lives inside modern people today.
But if an entire group could remain a ghost in the DNA for so long, we must ask one final question. What other secret histories are hiding in our own blood right now?